is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you do happen to enjoy the video, do me a huge favor by leaving a like on the video. It really helps out with the video as well as the channel. Even if this video isn't really your type of video, again, do me that big favor of leaving a like. It really helps out. Yeah, man, jumping straight into it. As y'all can see, man, I'm coming with another banger. We have another figure review for y'all, man. As you can see, the figure we have here on the table is nonetheless the SH Figuarts First Form Cell. Now, before I even get into it, y'all let me know down in the comments who your favorite Dragon Ball villain is. It can be from Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Super, or even Dragon Ball GT. And I'm gonna pick one random person who comments and shout them out in my next video. But with that being said, let's get into it. Jumping straight into it. As y'all can see on the left side of the box, we get the typical SH Figuarts as well as the name of the figure. On the right side, we do get a product image of the figure itself. Bottom of the box, we do get the quality control sticker as well as a bunch of company logos. As far as on the sides of the box, it's pretty much gonna be the same thing on every Figuarts box. Just gonna be the name of the figure. Got some product images over here. Other than that, nothing too much going on the back of the box. Yeah, man, that's gonna do it for the outside of the box. There's nothing special or new about this box. It is the same as any other Figuarts box. So with that being said, let's get into the figure itself. Before I even jump into the accessories of this figure, it's crazy. I ended up picking this thing up for only $52 on Walmart online. I definitely got a steal because I'm pretty sure this thing run for like 69, 70, something like that. And I ended up paying way less than that brand new seal. So if you do want one of these things, make sure you do check out Walmart. That is where I got this one from. But nonetheless, let's jump into the accessories, man. As y'all can see, we definitely got a decent amount of accessories to come with this figure, especially for the simple fact that it is a bigger figure considered a Cell. Now, I've seen a lot of people complaining about the size of this figure, saying it's too small to fit in scale with the other Figuarts. After just having it in hand, I really don't think it's that bad. But with that being said, let's jump into the first faceplate. First faceplate we do have is, of course, a yelling face. And I can tell you right now, they definitely did good on the 3D printing on this face. I feel like it looks just like Cell from the anime. I'm really liking the details and the colors. As you can see, even in the eyes, it has a little tint of red in the actual eyes. So, like I said, pretty much matching up one-to-one with the anime. But nonetheless, you do have a yelling face. Second face sculpt we do have is more of a grinning face. I really do like the look on this. I feel like they definitely, like I said, captured the look of First Form Cell. I feel like they honestly couldn't get no more accurate to the anime as far as how this thing looks. Because again, it looked like it was ripped straight off screen. But nonetheless, you do have a grinning face with the figure itself. The last face sculpt we do have looks to be more of a talking face, like he's in the midst of talking. And like I say, even with this face, I really like the detail and the overall paint, the color of the eyes and everything. I feel like they did a good job on it. But nonetheless, you do have this extra face sculpt as well. As far as the other accessories that do come with him, we do have an extra headpiece. Now, I'm not all the way for sure why it does have an extra headpiece. I'm guessing the one on the actual figure itself that's already on it does not pop off the actual face. I'm guessing this one's meant to be used with the extra face sculpts that you do get, and the other one's just made to be like that. Nonetheless, you do get this extra headpiece. Of course, with it being a First Form Cell figure, obviously it has to come with that disturbing looking long tail. I feel like I'm one of the only people that found it disturbing that he was absorbing people through his tail like that. It just, I don't know, it just never sat right with me when I was a kid. Nonetheless, you do have the tail. You also, with the tail, do have extra pieces that do pop onto the tail itself. That being the more relaxed, closed version of his tail. And then also you can, again, pop this back off and you have the open one when he is about to absorb Android 16. You can just pop it on like the other piece. And I swear, I know I'm not the only one that find this disturbing, bro. Dude was literally just, the last bit of accessories we do have is, of course, some extra hands with the figure. We have an open key blast hand. We have more of a gripping hand as well as another open key blast hand. We do have more open grabbing hands as well as at the bottom, we do have a set of relaxed hands. And yeah, man, that's pretty much gonna wrap with the accessories. Now, if I had to rank the accessories, I would give them all a 10 out of 10. I don't see anything wrong with any of the accessories. I feel like they all were executed perfectly. And with that being said, let's get into the figure itself. Now, here we are with the figure itself. Now, I had to change my whole entire camera angle because this joint just would not fit in the camera. Obviously, with it being Cell, it is a bigger figure. Now, really, I ain't even gonna lie. I really like how this Cell figure looks, man. It looked like it was ripped straight out of the anime. It's even uglier in person than it is in the anime. And I feel like that's why I always like Cell's first form and second form over his perfect Cell form. I feel like with the perfect Cell form, they kind of backtracked and made it look a little too close to Frieza to me. Which I ain't gonna lie, Frieza's definitely a goated villain. He's definitely one of my top, I would say my favorite villain in the series. Just off the fact that I feel like Akira Toriyama made Frieza real small and innocent looking. Just to throw our expectations off, when the whole time during that time period, Frieza was one of the strongest beings at the time. But when Cell first showed up, I really thought it was gonna be the complete opposite because obviously he just looked like a straight up monster. He is very disturbing to look at. And honestly, due to the fact that he was made up of a bunch of DNA that came from a bunch of different people, it would almost solidify having him look like a straight up monster. And again, that's why Cell's second form is for sure my favorite form of Cell. And then I would put the first form as second. Nonetheless, off rip, like I said, this thing looked like it was ripped straight from the anime. I'm really liking the paint detail in this thing. I feel like they executed perfectly all the way around. I really love when Tamashii is one-to-one accurate with the anime when it comes to their figures, man. Because this figure does look like it's ripped straight out of the anime. Everything on the figure is painted perfectly head to toe, even on the back of the figure, we had the same exact thing. Now I will have to attach the tail, but I will get to that. But nonetheless, I'm really liking the paint detail. And these black spots on the figure are sculpted into the figure. They are not just painted on the figure. Of course, they are painted, but they are actually sculpted into it, as you can see. But I really like when we see that level of detail on the figure instead of it just, you know, sloppily just painted on there or something. Yeah, man, as far as this face sculpt, I really like this face sculpt as well. Again, it looks just like Cell to me. I really like that light tint of red that they do have in the eyes. It is very accurate to the anime. Yeah, man, like I said, paint detail is definitely on point. I really love how this thing looks head to toe. Even the actual wings and detail is definitely on point. As far as paint detail, I'm for sure going to give this thing a 10 out of 10. They definitely captured the look of Cell from the anime. And with that being said, let's get into the articulation. That is definitely going to be interesting to see what type of articulation this figure does have. Coming into the head, it can look up about that much, which I would say is a decent amount. As far as him looking down, he can look down. Him having neck pivot, he does have a lot of range in the neck itself. As far as his arms go, you do have bicep swivel margins super tight, and you do have a super tight double jointed elbow. You do have typical pivot in the wrist. As far as coming into the torso, he does have a swivel at the waist, as well as he can bend over about that much, which I would say is a really good amount for this figure. As far as him going back, he doesn't really go back too much. The wings are articulated, so you can get a bit of movement and move them out the way like that if you want to. As far as his legs do go up about that much. They do go back. They don't really go back at all. As far as his legs going out, we don't really get too much, and that is because the actual leg design itself, it might push up against his plastic and ruin it. He does have a really tight thigh swivel. Y'all can hear that right there. It is super tight. He has double jointed knees. His feet do go down about that much. They do go up about that much, and he does actually have ankle pivot. That'll pretty much wrap it up as far as articulation. Now, if I had to rate the articulation, I ain't even gonna lie. For this figure to be this big, I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. Considering, like I said, with most companies, you tend to lose a lot of articulation when it is a bigger figure, but with Tamashii, you don't have that issue. Before we do go, I do want to do a quick size comparison. Here is the same Raise on Earth Goku. Why not put the proud Namekian and Piccolo right beside him, considering he was the first one to ever fight, the first form Cell. Ain't even finna lie, as far as scale, I would definitely say it is slightly out of scale, considering the fact that it looks like that the Piccolo is a little bit taller than him. Definitely is not accurate, considering I'm pretty sure Cell's like at least 2 to 3 more inches taller than Piccolo. Now, there is a third-party accessory kit that you can get that extends his legs, and it matches up perfectly with the colors of the figure. But honestly, I ain't even really gonna go that route, considering it don't really bother me that much. Before we do go, I do want to put Trunks right beside him so y'all can see also how that compares as far as his size. And yeah, man, I definitely would say the figure definitely could be taller, but again, I ain't really tripping off of it. As you can see, I did put the tail on the figure and it did fit perfectly fine. Yeah, man, that'll pretty much wrap up the whole entire review. Now, would I recommend you go and pick up this figure? I 100% would. I feel like it for sure is a must-have, especially if you like the Android, the Cell Saga. Then you definitely got to pick this figure up, especially if you get it for the price that I got it for, which was priced at $52. It was on sale, but I did get it brand new, sealed in box. And yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about the figure down in the comments. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. Till then, I'm out. Stay tuned.